Hello, I'm John Joe. Welcome to Line War. Today we have a 2 versus 2 match with Alpha Team starting right next to each other, going 3 docks for SnowAngel, not SnowAngel, Emlife, and SnowAngel's going for 2 docks and a sub-pen. Sub-pen's over on this side, which is going to allow him to build up and probably take on the energy over here for the enemy, who is Bravo Team. On these 2 islands over here, we have SuperCrumpets up in the north. On this island in the north, but he's moving up towards this way. He also has 3 Navy production units there, which is just Navy yards, and 2 for Evilobster, who is set up a trade route pretty fast. We've got these structures here and here, which have actually got a trade route linked together. There we go, we can see it when it's on his screen. I was wondering why it wasn't glowing blue, but it seems like you can only see that when you're on the player specifically. Right, so I'm going to turn off Fog of War so we can actually see the enemy. I might keep on Fog of War like this so we can see everything going on, but I'm not sure how I quite like it yet. Either way, we probably want the commands up for everyone, so there we go. Now SuperCrumpets has taken over this island here and has already got his units going across this way. For this match, I feel like because it's going to be heavy in Navy, well, the energy is going to be super important. So these 2 are going to be highly contested by both teams. And this island has an energy on it as well, which Crumpets already has. And the enemy is probably going to be making their way to it soon. Specifically these 2, but they haven't got any plans yet to get the island itself. Either way, Emlife is over here and ready to disembark to go somewhere, but they've already gone and caught this island over here with just a single unit. But it's already struggling with energy. Have they got actually energy production? They do not yet, but they do have the ability to get it. They've got 2 places they're trying to gather it from, and they'll be able to set up some places there. They've also got a really well protected one over here, completely separate in ocean. SuperCrumpets also has one up in the north as well, which he can grab, which is fairly well protected. But still, players are setting up their energy. If we look at Evilobster, which is this one, we can see he doesn't have any energy production yet and is about to run out. So they really need to come over to this one just here before they actually do run out. Otherwise, they're going to really struggle in this game. Making that mistake, if he had ran out there, he'd have had to have built either a power plant on his land, which is probably the better option, or a depot where he can store the energy and just connect it to SuperCrumpets, where SuperCrumpets could save him from that situation. Over in the north, though, we do have energy already being contested. We've got 3 destroyers that are going to try and take this energy well out really fast. I'm going to turn the double speed off now. There we go. The destroyers were able to take that out, and the retreat command was already there set up ready, and the cruiser's just going to try and chase them. It looks like he's pulling it back. He's not willing to engage in that retreat. And he's just going to try and save the cruiser and make sure it survives. SuperCrumpets has some more destroyers on the ground now, or in the ocean. And it's just sort of scouting out the map, creating some good vision for their team. They probably have spotted this infantry if this boat has got somewhere close right now, but the energy has diminished for Evilobster, and he is running out. He's got to wait for this structure to be built so that he can actually send out his sea units again. But Evilobster is going to really struggle in this map. He has no other place for energy. He could connect to SuperCrumpets and share energy, but there isn't really anywhere else he can go. He's going to have to try and eco up and get some power plants going. As for the other team, we've got Emlife, who is struggling with energy, but does have some storage, and is about to have some more. SnowAngel, on the other hand, is also struggling for energy. They've got the depot, but they have absolutely no energy wells. But they are trying to work on it, but they need some energy. They've got some production, but it's from the allies. So the allies are sending them some energy, but it's being spent faster than you can actually gather it. And unfortunately, I think this is going to be a bit of a killer in this match. If he cannot sort his energy out, the Navy units are going to pretty much get eaten up by SuperCrumpets. Which is a shame, because they've got a lot of Navy production. And if they could keep up with that, with any energy at all, that would be great. And we can see the production's going up, but not too much is actually sticking around. over here, we can see from the other team, the boats are coming in to try and take this little island here, which is quite a strategic position. It won't get him much eco, but having the island itself would actually be quite beneficial. You could put a rocket in the middle, and I think it might be in range of the cruisers, but if it's not, you'd have a pretty good rocket there. Just easily able to just fire across. You can see over here this cruiser's trying to take this territory as well. You can't really place an energy well here or here, to be fair, right now. He needs to take out these units. But from SnowAngel's perspective, he's about to be hit, and he doesn't have the energy to provide for this. It is literally all coming from his allies. The destroyers are literally just driving through, taking out the enemy as they go. And as they're pushing through, they're able to fire, like, many units are firing all at once. And after the units have gone, he's got the retreat there to take this out, and as they do, as soon as it's gone, they'll retreat to this location here. Over on this side, Emlife is actually doing pretty good with his with their navy, except the energy is also diminishing. With these sorts of maps, I think the energy is the most important. As you can see, there's quite a lot of energy on one side of the map and in the north, but there's just not enough on this side. Despite having the eco, they'd have to spend a lot of that eco on power plants, and a lot of players are quite reluctant to do that. But if you can do it, it's actually kind of an advantage in one respect. It's really hard to snipe power plants because you don't know where they are. But that's pretty much the only advantage you get. Maybe some extra storage, but for the cost, it's better to have the production. But sometimes power plants are the better option when it comes to being hit by commandos all the time. As you can see, we've got the navy coming up into the north here, which is going to catch these units off guard. And if you can put them on blue circle commands, just out of range of the infantry, the cannons from the ships can actually outrange them. And as you can see, we're struggling with energy from SnowAngel, and he's got so much cash coming in. They could actually probably run off power plants for a little while. Over here, the cruiser has been caught off guard. Crumpets is on the move there. It's going to take that out pretty quickly. Even though the cruiser is a very powerful unit on its own, 1v1 it can take on pretty much anything, apart from a submarine because of its style. But the destroyers are just going to outnumber that quite easily. And that's just going to give SuperCrumpets even more potential for energy. Over here we have a large navy engagement I didn't even spot, with Evilobster sending in just a small amount of units. I think maybe he had a larger force to begin with, but if I remember, Emlife is struggling with energy. They're actually not doing too bad now. That will last long enough for them to take out those units. Not that they stop firing, but they take a lot more damage when they run out of energy. Which now Emlife is coming up to support their allies. SnowAngel over here, and there's quite a few destroyers here, and I think SuperCrumpets probably knows this arm is incoming. So they're probably going to just try and take out these structures quick and then get out of there. But two cruisers pop in at just the right time, which might just be able to save this structure. I'm not sure, to be honest, but we've got 3 more coming in to try and aid in the attack of this structure here. But at this point, Emlife is bringing their navy in, and I don't think these units are going to be able to get out now. I say that just as they run out of energy. SuperCrumpets did lose their units there, and Alpha Team were able to save this navy yard, but we have more navy moving in through the north over here. And they're going to just be scouting out the lands, by the looks of it. Trying my best not to miss anything out. I'm going to turn off Fog of War just because I kind of prefer it. It's just easier to look around, especially when it's a big map like this and things are going on everywhere. We do have some commandos coming out, and they're going to be trying to get through onto this location here. Evilobster is moving around the bottom side of the map and has taken out some of the land from Emlife, and has actually built bombers, so I think that is a good plan to go for trying to take out these structures here. I'm pretty sure they're out of range of destroyers, but the cruisers, I don't know, to be honest. They might be able to hit that. Might be way out of range. I'm also not quite sure. Over in the north, as the Navy came through this section of the map, SnowAngel has just given in the white flags. This is also when they're beginning their engagements over here, so I think he was caught a bit off guard. And now that leaves Emlife left on their own to fight against 2 players. But Emlife is on the attack and is going to take out the energy for Evilobster, which we can see, not the energy, the eco. Though he did target, by the looks of it, specifically the docks. If he had set a strike command on the town, they would have destroyed both in one go, but now he's going to have to stay there a little longer. But they have the ability to do that. There's not too much coming in, only a couple of cruisers, maybe quite a few cruisers actually. Might be a wise idea to just attack at the front here because they're coming in one at a time. Might be able to take out a good few of them. But SuperCrumpets is not going to defend their ally. Instead, it looks like they're going on the offensive and trying to attack, which is actually probably the better play here. Because his ally does have a decent amount of units to defend with, so they will be able to hold them off for quite a bit. But as SuperCrumpets is attacking the stuff on the coastlines here, he is also presenting a front on the ground, building up some operations in the area to be able to push forward against him on the ground. Which means that Emlife is going to be fighting both Navy units, air units soon, and ground units. How is the forces over here coming on? They just tried to drive past these defensive units and trying to get into the back to try and potentially take out another trade route, which I didn't even know they'd set up. But this trade route is between both players. They're both benefiting from the eco on that one. Over here, SuperCrumpets does take out a random industry there, which, if you can reach it and it's undefended, go for it. Any hindrance you can cause to your opponent is really going to help in the long run. As we can see, we'll check out the eco of all 3 players. So we've got 760 from Evilobster. SuperCrumpets is on 818, whereas Emlife is on 848. So SuperCrumpets and Emlife are about equal, so being backed up by Evilobster, the eco advantage is definitely on Alpha Team. And as we can see, SuperCrumpets does have some units coming in to help the defense on this section. Evilobster did lose, unfortunately, one of the Navy yards, or should I say fortunately for the single player over there. And some units coming in through this way, being chased by not Evilobsters, by Emlife's second wave of units, but I don't think this is a good way to go now. You saw the amount of units that are there. It might be wise to just try and take the opposite route. There is an energy bar relatively undefended, and it looks like that's what he's going for, which is a pretty good call, but they've got some air units on the ground there now. And I do want to try and keep an eye on this side of the map as well. Looks like Emlife is going for this island once again, which is not a bad idea, especially as we can see what's there. I don't think they can. Have a quick look through their point of view. Oh, they do. They can see one of the airfields. So that's probably why they're going over there, to try and stop that from being a problem in the future. Anyway, so over on this side, the Navy units are coming around this way. The strikers in the air, ready to take them out. And they don't have any anti-air ships, the missile ships. But these units can attack the air units. Just not very dominant in it. Kind of like how strikers can attack air units as well, but they're not good at it. Anyway, they are going to try and go for this energy well, and I'm pretty sure SuperCrumpets is not going to be too worried about that. They have a ton of energy right now. So although this may seem hyper important, the amount that SuperCrumpets has, it might be worth trying to build up a larger force, but that's going to be difficult with the amount of units he's got. Emlife is just doing everything they can to try and harass the opponent right now, and hopefully come about on top in the long run. You can even see that they're concerned about what's going on up here, so they've sent their units that way. I don't think they really have much else going on, but SuperCrumpets is also trying to get into the back of the base. We're bringing up over the mountains around this side and setting up lines here to present against the enemy. And as you can see, we do have a power plant on the ground, which is what I was talking about earlier, but having to have power plants when you're going up against two opponents using energy wells, it's almost impossible to try and come back from this. The attack on the ground here against the airfields has been stopped. Pretty much from the ground units that were over here, by the looks of it, they've been called in that way. Over here, though, Emlife probably has a bit of an advantage on the ground, but doesn't have too much production on the ground. Actually, a fair bit compared to what SuperCrumpets has. But SuperCrumpets can just bring in units from this way and cut across the water there. But anyway, we have come to the end of the match. SuperCrumpets and Evilobster were able to win that battle. So let's have a look at the eco. So even if what was his name? SnowAngel. Yep, that guy. Was able to stay in. They were, even as a team, not quite competing in Empire value as long as they needed to. As you can see, we had a lot of capital left over from Bravo team, so they had a bit more to adapt with. And we'll have a quick look at how much their income for, not capital, the upkeep on C units were. So Bravo team had a larger upkeep, which meant they had a bigger force, especially towards the end. But about this point, they were equal. And I think that was about when SnowAngel actually left. So, to be fair, for the guy that was on their own, they did really well. So, thank you for watching. There are 2 videos on screen right now. Feel free to click on one and I'll see you there.